United States submarine base at Key West, Florida. A dispatch that quoted President Truman's press secretary, Charles Ross, as saying that President Truman has no knowledge of any secret project by this government that would give substance to the existence of such objects. Ross also said that both the Air Force and the Navy deny that such objects exist.
And then, like how it always do, today Taco Bell brought back potatoes officially.
They did?
Yeah.
That's excellent news.
Was it? That's what I thought. And then I drove my ass to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And they fucked up my order. I was like, can I just get...
Here's a bowl of meat.
Literally! I get fucking potatoes, beans, and rice, okay? And lettuce.
Yes.
That's it. Okay?
Yes.
You know what they gave me? Just 2 tacos with mushy meat and cheese. And I was like, oh, what's this?
The opposite of what I need.
And so then I was like, I had to go inside and stand around my thumb up my ass. And that's when you texted me.
Yeah.
And then there was some crackhead, literally crackhead, screaming because they didn't give him his receipt. He was like, I don't know about y'all, but I'll do my taxes. And I was like, what?
You're gonna write off Taco Bell, dude?
Right. I was like, what? You write this off? This is for a business meeting?
It is, yeah.
This is an expense?
Yes.
This is a taxable expense?
He's got to take his dealer out, man, or he's got to take his clients out.
5 nacho cheese tacos. He was literally screaming like, you don't care about America. Well, I care about doing my taxes. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck?
You can't even write him off on this year's taxes, man.
It's
wait till next
over.
year. It's over. You gotta let it go.
I could not believe. He was like, she took my receipt, she crumpled it, she threw it away. And I was like, yeah, bro.
It's Taco Bell.
You're right. No. Taco Bell, I couldn't believe it. And that actually reminds me.
Oh,
because I had to witness that.
Yeah, the audacity
the poor
of
woman
man.
who worked in the counter was like, I'm so sorry. And she gave me 2 cinnamon things and I saved them for you.
Oh, bless you. That's so sweet. I'm actually super happy about the potatoes coming back because the potato soft tacos, yum, gracias. Oh, these are going to be perfect to eat on air.
I know it. They're the donut holes. Apollo, fuck off. Cocksucker, dude. And the dogs are being cocksuckers. Everyone this week, honestly, has taken a giant shit on my chest. And I didn't ask for it, dog. I didn't ask for it. From the fucking shitbags in my house that don't pay fucking rent, fuck both of you, to the fucking crackhead at Taco Bell screaming about doing his fucking taxes. I can't catch a break. I'm so sick of it.
You clipped your bangs a little weird.
I fucked up my bangs.
Yeah.
I've bleached my fucking eyebrow.
The eyebrow's cool.
Twice. I'm gonna do the other one. I don't give a shit. I was just like, give me something. Let me feel anything. Mm-hmm. And literally, like, shit hit the fan, and I felt no control, and I felt helpless and sad. And I just put on fucking My Chemical Romance, and I walked my ass in that bathroom, and I cut my own fucking bangs.
That's good.
I look like Lloyd from fucking Dumb and Dumber. This shit's so whack.
Yeah, but your complexion is glowing.
Don't get too close. It's because I put concealer on.
Well, God bless it. I saw the Ulta box.
Yeah, this is new freckles. So this is a tip for all the girls, gays, and theys out there or even anyone who wants to get freckles. So the best fake freckle company in the entire world is called Freck. But if anyone follows me on Twitter saw my complete meltdown, because I'm not fucking kidding you, the like free lash glue that comes in like, you know, drugstore lashes.
Yeah,
that's like this big.
Yeah. The like Elmer's glue shit.
Yeah. That shit is bigger than the vial that Freck gives you. Okay? And it's like $35.
Oh,
and
what the frick, Freck?
This. And then they charge you $5 shipping. I'm like, this, it's the size of like a pill.
Yeah, send it via courier pigeon or something.
I could not believe. I was like, $5 for shipping on this $35 item.
They not have it locally to go pick it up?
No, not anymore. Well, I think it's coming to Sephora now, but like it used to just be online only. But like it's one of those things, man, where they've got the full monopoly. They know that their shit is the best on the fucking market. Yeah. They know. And they're like, what are you going to do? You going to go get something else? And you're like, no, of course I'm not. I have to sit here and pay you $45 to fuck me.
It's like, I don't have the genetics for freckles.
No. And they got the best formula. Their shit fucking works so good. And they're literally like, oh, we're going to charge you $35 for this fucking thing. And then $5 shipping on top of that.
You know what?
Fuck you.
You're glad to do it. You just got to do it. They're
do
like,
it.
dance, you fucking puppet. And you're over
Literally.
here doing the
And I'm like,
the,
yeah,
the
I'll do
jig.
it. I'll do it. Like, it hurt my feelings. And I was like, but what else was I going to do? But anyway. So that happened. Fuck Freck, by the way. Fuck Freck, you pieces of shit.
Also, Freck, sponsor us.
No, fuck
Free,
Freck.
free shipping at least.
Because her name is Emery. I always repost her makeup. She's a fantastic local makeup artist. She sent me a message. She was like, hey girl, guess what? And I was like, you better be telling me good news this week. And she was like, Ulta now carries a brand that's cheap. It's $7.
Oh.
Giant thing.
Oh.
And it's just as good as Freck.
What is it called?
I don't remember.
It's called frack.
It's called
Frick Frack.
It's called fracking. And that's what's on my face right now.
Looks good.
Thank you.
I've been interested in some freckles myself because of all the mascony that I'm breaking out with.
Yeah.
I can hide the textures.
It's called Lottie London Freckle Tint. And it's $7.
Perfect. That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's the blessing that has come from your shitty week.
Yeah. So I had to put concealer on so I could try it. I will say it's not as good as Freck, and that's coming from someone who is a Freck hater.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's all right. It's totally fine.
In this poorly lit apartment with no upper lighting on whatsoever right now, it looks amazing.
Thank you so much. This is how I like it.
Yeah.
I keep it dark with neons only. I want to look like I'm in fucking Blade Runner.
Yeah, when I pull up to your apartment every week, it's always like this ominous glow coming out from the street.
Yeah, that's the way I like it.
Yeah, it looks good. It's You're doing well for someone who died of tuberculosis in a past life.
I know it. Also, look at this. Taco Bell forgot my straw. They fucked me so hard, dude, and I said thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's the Baja Blast. Everybody knows if you want to be a somebody, you get the Baja Blast.
Absolutely. If you go to Taco Bell and you don't get Baja Blast, fuck yourself. Like, you're a piece of shit. You're a bad
I've
person.
ended Tinder dates
As
when
you
they're like,
should.
I would like a root beer, and I'm like, a root beer is amazing, but when you're at Taco Bell,
Yep.
you only get the Baja Blast.
If someone goes to Taco Bell and they get a soda that's not Baja Blast, I think even if they're your husband of 50 years, you should have divorced them on site.
Yeah,
As
and
a
take them
bad
for everything
person.
they're worth.
Absolutely.
Even Judge Judy wouldn't rule against you.
I agree wholeheartedly to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Another almost 10 minutes in. We're 7 minutes in now. What's up? My name is Noelle.
Struggling.
Like, really, dude, it's not my week. Have you ever been kicked while you're down and then spit on and then rolled off of a cliff? That was me this week.
And I'm Chelsea. I'm the semi-deflated life raft trying to catch Noelle.
Oh,
That
shit.
scene in like Indiana Jones where they fall out of the
you're like
airplane.
a pool noodle trying to catch
A pool
me.
noodle, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm a shitty pool noodle. From the dollar store, not even the good
I
Walmart
know.
ones.
Chelsea really thought she was going to come in here and we were going to have a good episode. And I spent the first like 30 minutes being like, I'm going to tell you how bad my life is.
Off mic, yeah.
Of course off mic. No one needs to hear that. Everyone has to look at me and be like, wow, she's really got it together. No one has to know that I fucking almost shaved my head. No one has to know that.
Well, they know now.
Well, now you can unknow that. Take what you know and unknow it.
Yeah, we're gonna put so much knowledge in their heads today that
Can't wait.
So this episode was brought to us a while ago, but it's taken some preparation because we had to procure certain things. We will bring that up later. But what we are talking about today is Lemuria.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to refer to it, because we're not fucking amateurs here, is Moo. Because that's what the real people on the
Bitch,
inside
I'm a cow. I
yeah.
go moo.
Yeah, for all the people on my YouTube channel, they call me a cow. So let's just keep
What?
it real.
Oh my god, yeah.
'Cause of the-
Throwback to anyone who remembers. Chelsea went viral before was a thing for getting her ass branded on what looks like a crack den.
Yeah, my friend's basement.
And everyone was like, people called you a cow? Which is weird because you were definitely your skinniest.
Oh, it was like a size 0.
Maybe they meant like a calf, like a baby cow.
They
Long
yeah,
legs
yeah.
and
They just
skinny.
I just misinterpreted their
Yeah,
compliments.
I really do. I think you missed that.
But I'm glad to say that secret internet fame did not go to my head and did not let it change me. Look at me now, though.
Look at you.
I'm the Corey Feldman of success.
Bro, do you Do you remember like a few years ago? It was when we both still lived by each other, but the other house.
Yeah.
And
The other
house.
Yeah.
And Corey Feldman came to that bar with the Angels.
We were gonna go,
Yeah.
but he rescheduled
Yeah.
like 3 times,
Yeah.
and then it just got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I would have been there as a fan, not even ironically.
Yeah.
Dude, you didn't want to see his cool dancing?
I honestly,
we should make a dance group and only do Corey Feldman dances.
He was rough, dude. He was rough. He was really
it's
going
because-
through it, TM.
Dude, he got the Britney Spears treatment before Britney Spears treatment was the Britney Spears treatment. Corey Feldman's a victim.
Yeah, I agree. We're
have to
all
protect
victims,
him.
honestly, after watching his videos.
How dare you?
We all survived something. But anyway.
Anyway, so Mu. It is basically the Atlantis of the Pacific Ocean, and it was brought into mainstream thought by an archaeologist named Augustus Le Ponguion. Nailed
Sounds like a totally real
Yeah.
guy.
I'll just say Augustus because I can pronounce that.
Augustus.
And he believed that Mayans were connected to ancient Egyptians through a shared lineage of Atlantis and Mu.
Okay. I can get on board that Egyptians and Mayans were kind of like maybe from some similar vein. Their like fashion and shit was like pretty similar.
Pyramids and petroglyphs.
Gold.
Yeah.
Like the same.
They might as well be the same.
I mean, they seem related.
Like, point out the differences other than landmass.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's why we see so many shared cultural identities across civilizations, because they all descended from one mainstream thing. And a lot of what Mu is, you could also pull from Atlantis. So we're going to kind of go into it and stray away from too many of the similarities. But he came up with this idea of Mu by translating a sacred Mayan book called the Popol Vuh, probably saying that super correctly, which indicated that Mayans had a civilization much older than the Egyptians or Greeks, and told a story about a much older continent, which later became known as Mu. And the name Mu came from another ancient text. These are all non-conspiracies. These texts exist. And it's called the Troano Codex, which is another ancient Mayan literary work. And in this codex, the land of Mu was said to have been submerged by an ancient catastrophe. And Augustus specifically claimed that Egypt was settled by some of the refugees from this ancient land. So similar to Atlantis, Mu was an ancient society that was incredibly advanced, but also incredibly corrupt. And everybody who talks about Mu mentions that the United States is on the same trajectory as they are, in the sense that these civilizations were obsessed with money and power, which caused them to ignore the land around them, and they failed to see the writing on the wall, so to speak, with their own destruction.
And so that's when the giant flood came and evaporated all of them.
Yeah, and it's hard to get away from like Mu and Atlantis and the Bible and like all of these ancient civilizations really revolve around the idea of an ancient flood.
Well, what I'll also say is like anytime some fucking man, probably named Augustus, comes along and translates an ancient text, I feel like the room for error, the margin of I'm going to write this in, I'm going to Mad Libs this, becomes almost, a guarantee.
Right.
So,
I mean,
when all of a sudden this like ancient civilization starts mirroring like the Christian great floods and shit, you're like,
maybe have an agenda, perhaps.
Some might
come
say,
up with something a little more unique.
Right.
Why not a Great Fire?
It's like they said copy it but make it different so no one catches us, and he said no.
Yeah, he went to like the dollar store of already a Walmart type thing.
Exactly. It's like we see it, we see the notes, we saw that you copied.
Well, also, but maybe Mu is really the Target, if we're going to be fancy.
You think?
Maybe, because we're about to get into...
so you're saying what, like Atlantis is Walmart and Mu is Target?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh.
Because Atlantis is like... You throw a stone and you can hit Atlantis, right?
Sure.
In all of my Atlantis research for when we did the Antarctica is Atlantis episode, I didn't even rub elbows with Lemuria or Moo. When I went into Moo, I had to go real hard. That's why it took so long for us to get this episode together. And then I went down so many rabbit holes that weren't even fun. It was just like where people confused Atlantis with Moo, but never Moo with Atlantis.
Huh.
So,
What, you eventually got there on Bing page 14?
yeah. Like,
Can't believe it.
yeah.
Whose WordPress site from 2003 did you
Did
find?
you see, like, when I sent you over the notes, I was like 44 minutes into this YouTube video that was like 6 hours long before I eventually like had to tap out. Like, the information was so dry.
The psychic damage you take from watching a YouTube video about a made-up civilization is just like, that's crit fails all day, baby.
Yeah, remember when
You're
I like
rolling ones.
remember the slippery slope that happened after like the flat Earth episode where I
Yeah.
was like, what if it isn't round though?
Like, and this is always the thing about conspiracy theories, is like, the first scratch of the surface is always enjoyable. It's some off their medication 45-year-old farmer screaming at the sky, and you're like, this is delicious. I will eat this all day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is a full course meal. And then when you peel back the layers more, where we often find ourselves, it is just like you are rolling crit fails. You are ones on the dice every single time. The damage you take from watching these videos and reading the shit that they put out is just like, there's not a therapist out there that could undo the harm.
Right. It creates like false memories some days too, where I like am questioning reality. But at least
that's how you know it's working.
Yeah. At least I never got into like the. Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say it.
Yeah. Say it.
Even if. Okay, here's where I'm at.
Okay.
Even if
Oh God.
vaccines have tracking devices or alien metals in there,
Yeah.
even if they have that,
Sure.
I'm still gonna get the vaccine because I appreciate the science and I realize that the science will stop the virus, and then the reason why we have better life expectancies are because of vaccines and medicinal advantages. The tracking devices are just the pill you have to swallow to have that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I get it.
So
Crazy.
how dare you? We're,
As she types on a MacBook. Yeah, the
My
tracking
pink
device and the vaccine
yeah,
is
I
what
know.
you should be
It's
worried
just a pill
about.
to swallow,
Well, how about put it up your ass as a suppository?
Yeah, I have a hard time swallowing pills, so it would have to be a suppository.
There you go.
Speaking of, I had this is a tangent. I had to get 2 shots that were like 2-inch like needles into my hip this weekend, like one on each side.
For why?
Massive bruises. I had like a headache I couldn't kick. I get them fancy headaches. I had one that I just couldn't kick, and eventually I was like, I'm going to the doctor. And then the doctor was like, I'm going to give you these shots. And I've had shots for headaches before, but it's like a teeny little needle that they put into my butt cheek. But this time they like went right into the fucking sciatic nerve. Like
Jesus
these 2-inch needles.
Christ.
And just. And it hurt. It hurt me. Oh, deep in the sciatic.
Like,
Like,
it fucking did.
oh.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And my dad was there. He was all worried. And when they pulled down to like reveal like my upper hip, my dad was like looking anywhere else in the room. He was so like bothered by just seeing a fraction of skin on my hip.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a man of God.
He is. Yeah, he's a good egg.
I actually also got my ass beat by a needle. That was on Friday. I got my COVID vaccine.
Did. How did you get that?
Remember when I had a stroke in 2017?
Yeah.
That's why.
Lucky.
I know.
I'm so jealous.
I'll be real with you. So I got the Johnson & Johnson 1 shot. So got it at 9 a.m. I was just flying through my day. No big deal. Everyone's dramatic. Blah, blah, blah. I took Tylenol. I was like, no big deal. 9 p.m. I was seeing Jesus.
You're sick.
I was seeing Jesus Christ in my bedroom, and I was like, take me. Let me go. I couldn't stand up. I was fucked up. My head was just the
Johnson
worst
& Johnson one?
headache I've ever had. My body was aching to the point where I was getting chills. and goosebumps.
So maybe go for the Pfizer one, you think?
I think it's either.
or Moderna. Or
I think that just is the way it is. But then the next morning, I was fine, completely fine.
Yeah.
It was like I went through a fucking exorcism, dude. I was just like shivering in my bed, like, Lord, Lord. Someone's just singing like gospel hymns in my head, like, take away.
You know, I got the flu shot on Halloween, and that put me the fuck out. Just a little baby flu shot.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get you.
Yeah, sometimes.
Just in our old age.
I know it. Well, they said no matter what COVID vaccine they get, they said maybe you should take the day off or like the next day off, depending on the time range.
That's
and I was
good
like,
to know.
I'm a bad bitch. And then I was like, literally just in my bed
crying.
alone, like, this is how I die, alone, and no one will know, and then my dogs will eat my eyeballs out of my fucking head, and no one will find out until next week, and I'll have been soup in my bed.
Yeah, I mean, at least I come over every week, so you wouldn't have been.
But that was on Friday night, Saturday morning.
It would have been a while.
It would have been almost a week. I would have liquefied.
Yeah.
And I don't have anyone living under me now, so it would have to go subterranean until someone
the mole people
found out.
The crack addict who lives on your roof would have come and got you.
I know it.
He would have robbed you and then like left your door open, and then someone would have found the
someone
dogs, and then that would have triggered the police.
It's true.
So, James Churchward. So he was a pretty cool guy. He was an occult writer / fisherman / engineer / inventor. And he did know Augustus, and they talked about Mu often, but Churchward went a step further in making it part of his life's work to prove that the ancient continent did in fact exist. He thought that it kind of floated somewhere north of Hawaii and was the OG.
Say, where is that your life's work? Who's paying you? How are you paying your bills?
Dude, it was the late 1800s. You could just be interesting and make a living.
Okay, that's fair. That actually is a good point.
Yeah. So he was just an interesting dude.
Yeah, and
he financed everything.
Yeah, came to him.
Yeah, he invented the wink, and they paid him $40 million. Probably.
Yeah, he cashed out.
Yeah, and
he was like, "Have you ever thought of saying 'excuse me' after you sneeze?" And they were like, "Give the man the money."
Like, jeepers, mister, you're revolutionary.
Go find your make pretend island forever.
Yeah, well, you thought it was.
Accent went.
You know, he probably.
It got away from me.
Yeah, it got away from you a little bit. Like sands through the hourglass. Some of the days of our lives. I don't know. But he thought it was the Garden of Eden, so I could see people financing him because he swindled them religiously.
I saw the Queen's Gambit. I know the Christians want to pay you to say fuck Russia, so there was probably the similar version.
Yeah, and this was in the late 1800s, so this is when Russia was fun, but like before they got told.
But like, there's always got to be some rich Christian who's willing to fund something that proves that like Eden exists and shit.
Hey, I'll prove Eden exists. Give us money.
Hit up I don't know, evangelicals. No, they're too into the shits now. They know it's fake. Find someone else.
I know, now that Parler's down, I gotta find new people to swindle.
Yeah.
So we'll get there. I'm very tenacious. No, I'm not. So in the 1870s, Churchward was in India looking into the symbolism of their temple carvings, where he first heard about some ancient tablets written by the Nakals. And for some reason, Nakal is what you call someone from ancient Mu instead of like a Muian.
That's fair. Muian is stupid.
Yeah. So after pestering the priest for access to these tablets, Churchward eventually gained access and was able to study them for long enough to write his books from the information he gained from the translations. And the priest did help him translate. He didn't like fully learn, but he kind of started to get enough where he felt fluent enough or like familiar enough where he could kind of get.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm like, you know.
I wish I could just do that with
confidence of man. He's like, I've got it now.
Yeah,
you know,
I just
do you though?
Yeah, it's like,
do you?
Yeah. Well, he did. Now, if you want to verify the existence of these tablets, it's a little sticky.
As it always is.
Churchward promised the priest that he wouldn't disclose the location of the temple. But it's not like we haven't seen entire religions formed about like around ancient tablets, right?
Counterpoint. That's what I love about my history is when you can't find that it ever existed and it just starts. That's when I think you should really believe in it and like put 10% of your entire earnings into it.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Become a $1 billion corporation.
Absolutely.
You don't have to pay taxes on any
Untaxable.
It's perfect. So
open multiple businesses under that name. Own malls.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And like a sweep allegations of abuse under the rug.
Yeah. You know.
Or come up with a fun island.
You know what?
Churchward did good.
Maybe.
He did good.
Last time I heard about a fun island, wasn't that fun? And the guy's name is Jeffy.
I was like, what island? I was like thinking the Pinocchio Island for Bad Boys, where they turn into donkeys.
I mean, I wish that what happened on this island.
Yeah, his mansion sold for like $50 million, and they're going to give that money to his victims allegedly.
That's good.
Allegedly,
they
should have just given his tattered corpse to him, and then they could have fed on him like a bunch of vultures, and then they could have like absorbed his shittiness for power and like a cool witchcraft ritual. But
well, it's because he's not dead, so there's no corpse.
Yeah, so he's actually he bought his own mansion.
Yeah, he bought it back. Tis capitalism.
Yes. So in these books written from the tablets, Churchward says that Mu was a massive continent, thousands and thousands of miles wide, with a whopping 64 million inhabitants.
Wow.
And was known as, quote, the place where man first appeared. And
take that, Christians.
Yeah. Ha-ha!
Got you this time.
Yeah. Prove it isn't that. Or maybe it works out for Christians because they can be like, yes, it's sync.
No.
Plausible deniability? No? All right. Yeah. Fuck them. So while it wasn't connected to any other continent, the water surrounding the landmass wasn't that significant. And so it was easily crossed and navigated by the Mu people.
Just ankle deep.
Ankle deep, yeah.
Puddles.
It was like the Great Salt Lake. You just float across it. And when Mu was about 2,000 years old, the population grew significantly and people started to migrate elsewhere. And with them, they took the cultural symbolism that we see scattered all around the earth, like with the pyramids and then like sun-moon worship. And this migration is actually what led to places like Atlantis, India, Egypt, and the ancient Maya. So speaking of India, there's actually another ancient text to back up its potential existence with Mu. A Hindu text called the Rig Veda refers to the Mu peoples, and specifically that there was another great civilization that was thousands of years old. They stated it was a huge continent to the east of India, who either worshipped the sun or used the sun heavily in their representation and symbolism. And this document that says that it was destroyed by either volcanoes or tidal waves, only leaving the Pacific Islands and Indonesia. So Churchward believed that the people knew they were on borrowed time just based on their treatment of the land. So the continent, he believed, was lifted above sea level by millions of years of volcanic activity. And over the years, the residents of Mu kind of honeycombed out the base of their cities to get to the granite beneath them. And this caused a perfect storm of hollow chambers full of gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide to sit beneath them in all the major cities of Mu. So really it was just a fever, just a boiling pot of gases and like a bomb. And all it took was one little earthquake or pop of magma to ignite all of these gases. And eventually they did. And just
yeah.
Honeycomb.
Mm-hmm. A honeycomb bomb.
Yeah, honeycomb bomb. So he believes that Mu was destroyed in 3 epic events. So in 50,000 BC.
What if they weren't epic?
I don't know. I didn't even think you would.
Did you think about that?
Of all the things I thought you would question in this episode that I prepared for, I just didn't.
You didn't. What if they weren't that? What was so epic about them?
Well, the first one, apparently, the first segment sank into the ocean completely.
Kind of like how we predict California will go.
Yeah.
Just it'll shake off and fall into the ocean.
Yeah, like that.
And then a giant tidal wave will cleanse the West.
Yes, of the hippies of California.
We will become the West Coast. Think about that.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
When California finally breaks off and sinks into the ocean.
We could have mountains and ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
That's why they're all coming to Utah. We're about to be beachfront property.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Can't wait.
They know. In 26 to 28,000 BC, the second big segment sank, and then in 11,000 BC, it was the final sinking of Mu.
Wouldn't you be a little sus after you saw the first piece go, and you're like, feeling a little uncertain here?
Like, yeah, I think what happens when you get into a lot of these lost continents is like with Atlantis, it's like, no, happened in one day, happened in one fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
But this kind of addresses like, no, this was like tens of thousands of years where eventually it shrunk, but it was such a good civilization that it survived that and it birthed all these other civilizations. We just don't know how to recognize it.
I guess I can see that working.
But, you know, science says otherwise. We can get into it.
Who listens to science nowadays, am I right?
Right.
Not us, not here in this country. No, sir.
I'll pick the science I want to listen to.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so since these great immigrations happened for thousands of years, North and South America specifically, this explains why also all of these ancient temples that we see kind of predate known immigration patterns, which is essentially like we think we know when man evolved out of Africa and spread out. Mm-hmm. But what these guys are saying is like, no, we don't know. This was before that even happened. So it's kind of fun. And that they also say that this is why temples and pyramids are built so precisely, because they came from a technology of this ancient advanced civilization that ended up just being lost.
Yeah.
Just they forgot about it. They had different priorities. They turned to like an age of religion, and then they eschewed technology.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch half your fucking continent fall off into the ocean and all of a sudden you go from, what was it, 60 billion people to like 40?
Thousands, yeah.
And you'd be
thousands.
Like, whoop. Maybe I should believe it's something.
I mean, look at what happened. Like, look at what happened to America 4 years ago. We went on a crazy religious upswing. So people just
real quick. Well, no one's listening. What happened 4 years ago?
Trump?
Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god!
Oh, soon we forget, young grasshopper.
Oh. Bro, I straight up forgot.
Dude, I wish I could have that.
The drama just blocked it out, dog.
Oh my god.
The drama just blocked it out. It was like the last 4 years it didn't happen.
I can't believe you forgot about that.
Whoa.
That's impressive
dude.
and concerning. Are you crying?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that happens. Uh-huh. So whenever like you see a technological advance, there's usually like a religious upswing.
Yeah.
That's a thing all the time.
All the time.
So Mu legends tell of sending out their architects to help rebuild their way of life before their continent sank entirely. And there's actually a known archaeological site, this is not a conspiracy, in Bolivia called Tiwanaku.
Is this really not a conspiracy, or is this like the fucking ice giants or whatever the fuck you lied to me about?
How dare you? Ice giants are real. Tiwanaku does exist.
Have you double checked?
Yes.
See, I don't believe you.
Google it right now.
Back to bite me like the other shit with the fucking ice
I don't
giants.
tell lies ever. Never.
God. Okay.
Tiwanaku.
I'm choosing to believe you right now.
Tiwanaku exists. It is in Bolivia. Where the legend comes in is that they believe that this is part of an ancient Mu civilization. And the legend of Tiwanaku is that it once sat like flush at sea level, but during some cataclysmic event, like a piece of continent sinking, it kind of got like crushed up, and like how mountains form, but very quickly.
Yeah.
To about like 12,500 feet above sea level. And Churchward claims that these mountains did not exist before 17,000 BC. So something happened, and in a very short period of time, even if it was like thousands of years, you know, that's very quick for mountains to form. But something happened that made them go, and that's why Tiwanaku has a lake that exists so high above sea level. And so he thinks that this architect from Mu came to this place that we know as Tiwanaku and created a bunch of megaliths there. And then the Inca eventually came in and conquered the area, and they just assimilated the people there, and the Mu just blended into their society. Now, interestingly enough, we talked about that Hindu document that talks about Mu people being children of the sun. Mm-hmm. Well, this time when the Inca came in, they claimed the nomenclature of children of the sun as well, which Churchward says like they didn't just make that up. That's something that they would have adopted from the culture at the time. And the only culture that he thinks had that at that time was the children of Mu.
Yeah.
So before I lose you completely, there have been scientific discoveries in this region that scientists do have a really hard time explaining. All those long-headed skeletons that we see on the internet all the time. A big chunk of those are from this region, and about 30% or more have brain capacity than like current people in that region do today, or just like people in general. So I tried to look more into this. Like, is this what people of Mu looked like? Is this what their royalty looked like? Is this like remnants of like weird Mu cultural modification? Most of the stuff I found was like, aliens helped.
As it always is.
So clearly the aliens helped with this mass migration.
Yeah, clearly it's obvious.
But we don't have to get that into it. Because I tried to, but there wasn't that much. It was just like, yeah, fucking aliens, you piece of shit.
Yeah, haven't you watched
Gobble it
Ancient
up.
Aliens?
Yeah, so
Aliens.
I was like, oh, okay, aliens.
Big head, aliens.
Yeah. But there's also tablets that have been found in Mexico which do resemble ancient writing styles of what Churchward believes like resembles how the Mu wrote. And there is an archaeologist named William Nevin, and he spent his entire life trying to figure out what these tablets meant. And this part is not a conspiracy, Noelle. He took rubbings of them and sent them to different experts around the world. But before they physically could be brought to the United States and examined further, they were lost in transit forever. So all we have left are these rubbings. And there are also modern claims about evidence for Mu. So a professor from the University of Ryukyus in Japan, I'm so sorry, Masaki Kimura, claims that the Yonaguni, this sentence has like too big for my mouth. The Yonaguni monument off the coast of Japan, not a conspiracy, this exists.
Thank you.
Are actually the ancient ruins of Mu. And it is also important to note that while some scientists disclaim the idea of lost land masses, there are plenty that do exist. There's the Minoan society off Greece. Like, they had an entire navy and like a huge chunk of their island that was wiped out.
Well, this is the thing, and we've touched on it before. We know more about the space above us than the space below us.
Yeah.
To think that there are land masses that fell into the ocean in depths that we have not explored or seen fully.
Yeah.
That should not be a pressed idea.
Right.
Like, that's very reasonable.
I totally agree, because I was trying to look up some of the science as to like why they don't think that's possible. It's because I'm just going to like really layman term it because I don't remember everything. The dirt on land is different composites than dirt in the ocean. So it would stand to reason that if an entire continent sank, we should see clusters of land dirt in certain areas, and we don't see that. But just like a few weeks ago, I feel like they just found more ruins off the coast of South America. Yeah. That stuff happens all the time. Yeah. So, you know what? I'm going to chalk it up to we just don't fucking know. And it's weird for people to be like, an entire continent can't exist. But then you can look up shit all the time online about entire land masses that were above water that aren't above water anymore. Yeah. And like vice versa. We used to be completely below water.
Exactly.
Here,
no, literally. The Salt Lake Valley is a bowl that used to be completely filled with water.
Yeah, Lake Bonneville.
And it's like, okay. And then, now it's not.
Yeah, and like now that water isn't there anymore, it has to go somewhere else. Yeah. So it's got to like fucking fill up we just don't lose water or a little egg.
I know it.
So.
I know it. It's so weird if anyone's like hung up on that part of the story.
I agree.
That's like not the place to hang up.
Yeah, they're like, where are these ancient civilizations? I'm like, we find ancient ruins all the time in the ocean.
All the fucking time. We keep finding shit older than what we thought before. Yeah. We keep finding shit in places we did not know.
Yeah, and also there's like a ton of shit happening in the ocean where
we have no fucking clue. Yeah. We have no fucking clue what's happening in the ocean. Truly, we have no fucking clue.
Yeah, or what we could think. Like in the Hindu document, it was saying like, yeah, like Indonesia is an ancient remnant of it. Lemuria, the more layman term for it, a lot of people are like, oh, it's Madagascar, and that's where lemurs came from. That's like what lemur in Lemuria. That's where they got the name Lemuria.
That's a fun one.
Lemurs don't make sense apparently evolutionary wise, so something had to have put them there.
We don't make sense evolutionary wise, but here we are, and some might say that we were put here.
Put here by a fish crawling out of the water.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I know. That's thanks a lot. Now I have to pay taxes.
Right, and I got to pay rent. That's my fucking favorite internet meme. It's like clearly it's a picture from like a science book of like the fish coming out of the water. And then it's someone's just edited like 1,000 middle fingers at it. And it's just like, fuck this asshole.
Yeah, thanks,
crawling out
dude.
the water now. I got to pay rent.
I'm going to move this for lumbar
That's
support.
how I feel.
It's fantastic. Okay. So here we go. This is very important, and I need you to stay with me.
Okay, I'm here.
There are lots of different therapeutic practices out there.
Oh, Jesus.
And one
Christ.
One of them focuses on past life regression. In one interview, a therapist talks to a woman and kind of walks her through this regression process through a past life where this woman claims she was a citizen of one of these ancient civilizations. And this woman backed up much of what we already talked about, specifically the religious versus technological war which occurred, and that she had to leave her continent after the military destroyed it with lasers. Lasers also could have built the pyramids, just saying.
Oh.
So she also brings up that aliens did assist with their flying machines to get people displaced around the world.
Flying machine sounds
That's what she
very
said.
serious. Sounds very real.
She said flying machines.
Okay.
That was her terminology.
Okay, I believe. Okay.
To get people like moved around the world, which ties into the other theories about the long-headed skeletons. It's all coming back to home base. So, a few weeks ago, one of our listeners sent me a message about Lemurian seed crystals, which is what kicked off this entire episode.
Yeah.
According to crystalvaults.com, these crystals are, quote, believed to contain the record of lost civilizations, and with the right energy levels and practice can be used to tap into ancient knowledge of Mu and determine if we actually lived there in another life. So, we obviously bought some off the internet, and these Lemurian seed crystals can be identified by parallel striations in one or more of the sides of the crystal. These crystals are special because they hold the knowledge imprinted on them from these ancient civilizations. These are, I'm going to try to hold up my notes here and look you in the eye simultaneously because this is
working out.
These are the most powerful intuitors in the mineral kingdom.
Intuitors?
Intuitors. That's what I wrote. It may be wrong.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Like they translate or something?
Yeah, they're just intuitive maybe.
Okay.
And are also known as laser wands.
Laser wands.
How fucking... Dude, and then she was saying like it was brought down by lasers. We have ancient fucking weaponry and books in our in here. So, when I bought these crystals off the internet, I did email the guy and I was like, you must send us special past life regression ones. And
you said this to him?
Yeah. I
what
was
did
like,
he say back?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay. You told him we were using these for past life regression. I specifically said,
please pick the ones with best energy. We need them.
This is like my nightmare.
To determine if we have we need them to do like regressive past life stuff. And Kyle's Crystal Crafts in Heber, Utah, fucking delivered. Not only did he send me, he was like, I couldn't decide between these crystals for the best energy. So he sent me not only an extra crystal, but he sent me another gemstone that also can help with past life regression. It's like some snowflake quartz.
Look at the bags.
It's like snowflake obsidian. He tied look at that. A gift, a snowflake obsidian also
with a
helps
smiley
with past
face.
life.
He wrote
so all
on
of
what I would call a Coke bag.
All of you go to Kyle's Crystal Crafts in Heber, Utah. Fucking OG. Look at these little crystals he sent us.
Oh my God.
I have not fucked with these crystals. I wanted to make sure that their energy was good. I didn't want to imprint anything on them.
Thank you. I don't need your energy on
it. So these special crystals can only be found in Brazilian mines and were only discovered by Americans around World War II in the 1940s.
Never a great thing when we find shit during war.
The Americans left, and then the mines were reopened by Brazilians in the 1990s, and that's when they kind of entered our modern world. These got connected to Lemuria by an author named Christina Raphael.
Also, did you give him a great review?
No, not yet. I wanted to see how they did with past life regression, but I'm going to do it.
You bitch, he gave you a free rock and wrote it with a smiley face on it.
Yeah, and I wanted to include the episode in the review.
Yikes, I threw the rock.
I will die before I say anything bad about Kyle's crystal crafts. Like, I dare say, if you thought about like supporting us, support us by going to Kyle's crystal crafts and buying a Lemurian seed crystal.
Tell him Go to Hell sent you. Actually, don't say that.
Well, like, just be like, this podcast said that you're like actively the best, because like there's a lot of times where we do research for the podcast and I reach out to people and I don't even get so much as a fuck you. So Kyle, thank you.
Yeah.
I look forward to purchasing more
Obsidian.
stones from you in the future.
This is about to get
just to support you.
really rough.
But anyway, I don't know how this Christina Raphael connected them to Lemuria, but she did. So anyway, each seed crystal contains different knowledge, and some may contain no knowledge at all. So I have 100% faith in Kyle.
Oh my God.
That he picked us some good ones. And it
Yeah.
supposedly takes a lot of practice to use these, but I think we
Yeah,
have collectively...
always. Oh yeah, we're professionals.
We have collectively consumed enough mind-altering liquids and substances to give it the old college try.
That is true.
And I also found other sources that said they're intuitive enough that we should be able to just fucking hang out and interpret the vibes we get from just holding them.
Okay.
So again, from crystalvaults.com.
Uh-huh.
You will frankly amaze yourself with what just comes to mind.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
When you are working with one of them.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's the knowledge of Lemuria.
Oh my God.
The Lemurians are
You ready
believed
to
to have
hear
foreseen...
tuberculosis?
The Lemurians are believed to have foreseen a cataclysmic event and prepared the seed crystals to preserve their knowledge and traditions.
Well, this is them talking to us.
Yeah. So directions for crystal use.
Okay, here we
So
go.
let's do it.
Yeah.
To use one, we need to meditate quietly holding it in your right hand.
Meditate. Right hand. Okay. Left, right.
So you got to pick whatever one. Like,
Calls to me like a fortune cookie.
ooh, I feel like I'm about to go on
My
a
hands
roller
are
coaster.
sweaty.
I got like my hand got cold. I'm like,
Well, that's because like your hand was holding that microphone. I want this fat boy. Let me get
yeah, you get the fat one. Just give me whatever.
what you want.
Um,
Apollo thinks it's food. Get away. We're going to do past life regressions, you cunt.
okay.
Sorry, that wasn't very meditative of me.
It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna take the little skinny one.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so we hold it in our right hand
Mm-hmm.
quietly.
Okay.
I'll do my best to be quiet while I narrate this.
Okay.
Slowly move your thumbnail
Thumbnail.
up the etchings of one.
Nail? This is already not great for me.
Well, so it's like the etchings are like,
The
if you hold them
corners.
up, you see like striations, right? Like
Yeah.
little lines on the side.
Yeah, like those. I got two right there.
Yeah.
I
So
gotta
you
scratch it.
want to rub your thumb. I mean, you don't have to scratch it, but
You said with the nail, so I'm scratching. I
Yeah.
hate it, and I'm scratching. I'm
So-
meditating. I'm scratching.
so slowly move your thumbnail up the etchings one by
Mhm.
one, expecting the presence of your spirit guide when you
Okay.
reach the top of the rung. The energy of these crystals seems to be very focused and directional, as if
Mhm.
they were specifically programmed. Do not expect a spirit guide
Okay.
from the very high energy levels.
Well, you just told me
Well, I don't
to
know.
expect it.
These crystals
Who am
seem
I
to be
seeing?
attuned to ordinary spirits, ones that are closer to our energy level. So what we want to
Ghosts?
do, what we want to do
Mm-hmm.
is we want to wander around in our thoughts but have no focus, expect
I
nothing.
hate when they say that.
Your
That
effort,
doesn't make sense to me.
Your effort is to free your mind so the power of the crystal can guide you.
Do you want me to talk about my thoughts?
Wait, well, I'm not. You should not
Okay.
expect success in each session.
No?
Rather, expect nothing. That is a secret. You will suddenly know
Yeah.
your path if you do not seek it. Several 10 to 15-minute sessions over a week are usually all that is required. We're just gonna do it real quick.
Oh,
You just turn
that's
off the
it,
light.
only.
Okay.
You want me to turn off the light? I turned it on so we could see the crystals.
No, we don't need to see it. We just need to feel it.
Okay, let me turn off the light.
Ambiance. Okay.
Here we go.
Now we're just gonna sit here quietly and see.
But I
what
wanted
comes
to
from-
talk about my thoughts.
Yes, tell me your thoughts.
Because I can't be focused, right? I hate when they fucking say that.
You
That's
gotta
setting
turn
up
off your
to fail.
brain, man.
Turning off my brain. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about mashed potatoes. I'm thinking about Cora snoring. I'm thinking about... What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about how I don't have to work tomorrow.
Oh, you don't have to work?
You
Why?
know, I'm going on a flight. I told you.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I'm going to be on a plane. Planes are stressful. It's in the middle of COVID. Will I get COVID? No, I have the vaccine.
I don't
The
think you're
vaccine
doing it
hurt.
right.
I'm talking about my thoughts without a focus.
No. You gotta just meditate on your thoughts while slowly scratching the crystal, and then you just talk about the images that are in your head. You're thinking about things that are of this world, man.
Okay, let me not
You
think
gotta
about...
fucking let go.
How do I do DMT? I want to be like Joe Rogan. I want to see the aliens.
Dude.
I want to believe that there's an alien god. Not God. God isn't the right term for the alien. He's just this outside of Earth. And everyone's like, oh, you do DMT? and then you get your fucking soul gets taken out of your body.
Frantically scratching at this crystal. I could not focus at all. I'm just looking at you like almost like schizotypal, like murmuring into the microphone. Like,
well, that's how
I
I'm
want to
think-
talk about.
Yeah, that's how I'm getting to my zone. I have to think about the DMT alien. That's how I'm gonna...
I just gotta watch you go. I can't even focus on my striations. It is cool though, because I didn't examine these. Like holding
There's-
them up to the light,
There's little fucking...
there are like tiny little lines in there.
Yeah, there's lines right there too.
And that's supposed to be like where they left a code. So these are authentic because sometimes people will send you ones.
Yeah, I see the little lines. I'm looking for my code.
I almost wonder if we should like pause podcast for a second and try to sit quietly.
Oh my god.
For 10
Fine.
minutes.
Fine. You remember last time I tried to pause the podcast and erase the whole episode? I don't know how to
save
do it. We'll just do
we'll
it.
never.
No, we're gonna try.
We'll just be quiet. We'll fast forward 15 minutes.
So we're back.
We went on a journey.
We went on a 21-minute past life regression guided meditation journey.
My neck is sore from
Mine
not
is too because
moving
I
it the
went
whole
full
time.
back. I went like broke my neck.
Yeah, I
went.
let my head sink into my shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went on a 20-minute past life regression
Holding
journey.
crystals, scratching them the whole
Did
time.
you see anything?
Here's the thing: how I feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
They give you prompts.
Yeah.
They set scenes for you,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know about you, but like my mind can just wander anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Even right now, I can put myself somewhere else mentally.
Yeah.
I have the imagination of a child. So yeah, I was able to like let myself wander. It's funny when she was starting off the guided meditation and we were like in a field, I was picturing myself because of course my dumb brain, I was like in fucking Sophie, like Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, that's
Like
a good
her-
field.
Yeah, her field getaway.
That's a fun one.
I was really stuck on a wooden archway. I was like, why would an archway be made of wood?
That one fucked with me because when she said archway, I thought of like an
Stone.
old stone
Me
archway.
too.
And then she's like made of wood.
And I was like,
hup,
"Er,"
hup, hup,
it was like
hup. Yeah,
record scratch.
had to back it up.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
literally thought of a fucking stone archway too.
Yeah.
So maybe we were right and
It
she
should've-
was wrong.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, that was the thing is like she kept suggesting things, and I was like, that's not where I was going. And
I was
had to,
no
like,
wood archway. And she's like, it's very old. No, so I'm thinking like pirate ship wood archway, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's
thought of,
got
like,
flowers.
vine.
I
wood.
literally thought like bone white stone archway.
Yeah,
And so I just fucking said fuck her and went on my own journey.
yeah.
Naturally, the stone archway journey I chose to be on took me down a path of being attacked by Romans.
That's fucking fun. That's way more fun than what I got.
Where'd you go?
Dude, I went into, when Simba comes back to Pride Rock and everything's just shitty and barren.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
You went to Baron.
Mustafar,
Oh my God.
where fucking
Wow.
Darth Vader went. That's like basically where I was. It was
Whoa.
just ashen, darkness, shitty. Trees were like burnt and like that was all I got. And when she was like,
Wow.
look at your feet, I would like, I didn't see shit, man. I was like
Whoa.
a microbe in my past life, I think.
Whoa. Yeah, I got attacked by Romans. I was like in a market.
That's fun.
And then it was fucking...
I got some market
war.
imagery, but I don't know if that's just because I was thinking of Robin Hood a little bit.
Oh, I went market like almost like Egyptian market. Like everything was made
Ooh.
of stone and sand. It kind of like was everywhere.
That's cool.
And like little fabric out.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I was attacked by Romans.
Fucking Romans.
The
man.
Romans. So I didn't get alien vibes.
I didn't get when she was like, what era are you in? Where do you think you are? What planet are you on? Planet. I was like,
We could have
Record
gone
scratch, yeah.
somewhere else.
I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, maybe I'm on Mustafar or like Mustafar or whatever, how you want to pronounce it. And that's,
You
where,
were on the barren land.
yeah, I was like, this is where Anakin and Obi-Wan had like their fallout,
Yeah.
which was fun. Little concerning though, because I was like in this dope, the meadow I was on was a little bit more surreal. It was more of like a pointed meadow, like a, and then the base of my little cone, it was like an ice cream cone, and the fat part of my cone was where all the trees were.
Wow.
And then she was like, where's the archway? And so I went down to the trees and I had to go back the fuck up to the archway.
Wow.
And then I went through and she was like, there's sunshine and there's butterflies here, it's beautiful, go through and see what your past life is. Immediately shithole. And I was like, nice.
I think that's really your subconscious coming out.
Yeah.
Your subconscious is like desolate, rotted, attacked place.
Yeah.
Mine is Romans
Shopping.
are trying to kill you in the
Yeah.
market. I was trying to buy bread and I was killed by Romans.
When she was like, explore your surroundings, I basically got in the little fetal position and I was like, I can't. And I just kind of looked around left and right. And then when she was like, go back to a cataclysmic event. Did you see a cataclysmic event?
that was the war.
That was the war. That's fun. I saw like
People getting slaughtered in the streets.
nice
Children and women
happened.
screaming and
Romans
crying.
were totally in Egypt, man.
I know.
Yeah, mine was like went back to like everything just being on fire.
Wow. See, the same but different.
Yeah. So
do I think that was a past life regression? No, I think I really saw the movie Troy playing in my brain.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of it was like it was a very suggestive video. We did the whole damn thing,
20 minutes.
and that was the shortest one we could find. Some of them are like hours long, and the website about these Lemurian seed crystals is they were like, it takes practice.
Of course it does. Everything always
I'm
does.
thinking maybe we just need to be more fucked up.
I definitely want to be on hallucinogenics.
Yeah, but it's also a Thursday, so we gotta
Yeah.
pick our
Can't be
our
doing
time.
that. Yeah. Also, maybe even, like those salt, like the salt baths, it's so much salt that you're like gravityless or whatever,
Dude, yeah, like
that.
a isolation chamber.
Yeah, do an isolation
We should do an
chamber
isolation chamber with
with a
somebody's in
fucking
our
guided
hands.
meditation. I don't know, man. I know that I'm not like, the pinnacle of inner peace. So I'm not a great example, but my mind will just grab images that I've seen already. I know that it does that.
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, because like when I did get flashes of other things, I'm like, am I just playing out Robin Hood with Kevin Costner again?
Literally, I'm like, we're going through Troy. I'm Brad Pitt. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I think like we need to turn off our brains a little bit with like substances, and then
yeah,
maybe
I
try
told you, man. I'm
again.
trying to get my hands on some DMT. No, just kidding. I don't think I'm ready for that. Maybe I am. Actually, I don't know. I'm scared. I saw a TikTok of a lady who also,
That's a drug that like changes your life, like for the good or bad. After
yeah.
you do it,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. This lady on TikTok who claims to have, she's some sort of doctor or works in the medical field, whatever. She was injected with the DMT while in an MRI machine so they could watch brain activity. And she said the moment it was injected, she felt her soul be ripped out of her body. And she was taken to this alien being, essentially. Not like God. There was no heaven. It was like this all-knowing thing.
That's fun.
Yeah. And I think if I remember, the TLDR of every Joe Rogan episode, everyone pretty much has that same thing. When you get past a certain level, you always meet alien Jesus. So
That's very interesting. Why is Cora all excited all of a sudden?
I don't know. 'Cause she's a fucking bitch.
No, she's so cute.
She's so
yeah.
gross.
So
Do I think the crystals worked for the sake of what's his name? Kyle's crystals. Wait, what's the name of his business?
Kyle's something. So let me look.
How is he spelling this?
So it's an Etsy shop.
Yeah.
Kyle's Crystal Crafts. KCC.
Woo. Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I
Okay.
get sense where you were going.
Yeah.
He did send us an extra Lemurian crystal. I'd be down to send it to a
Oh, yeah.
listener. A
Absolutely.
fan.
If
I don't know how we
anyone-
would do the giveaway.
If anyone If you feel like you can experience past life regression better than we can, hit us up. We will fucking send you a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can report back. Maybe you're better than us. Maybe you are a pinnacle of inner peace and meditation.
If you practice this type of stuff and you want to see what you can get out of it,
hit us up.
If you just want to try this on your own, Kyle's Crystals Crafts.
Kyle's Crystals Crafts. Send him KCC. Thank God.
Tell him that C and GTH sent you.
There you go.
I had to read it off.
You were doing so good.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
So you were murdered by Romans.
Yes.
And I was in a barren wasteland with no hope at all.
Are we alien civilizations? I don't know.
We got to practice.
Was I just living out my fantasy of being Brad Pitt? Maybe.
Can't fault that.
Maybe. You know? Maybe I took that 20 minutes to be Brad Pitt. And that was my past life regression.
See, you played the system. I got by the system.
Well, you should have went on Robin Hood, you dummy.
I was just fucking floating in this bullshit apocalyptic hellscape.
You did that to yourself.
I tried not to. At first we were in the cloud, and I was like, this is amazing. I just dig in the cloud part. And then
they always put you on a cloud, and I'm like, oh, I hate this. Put me somewhere else. Put me on a nice cozy
that
bed.
The clouds are like super, like made out of silk almost. And I'm just like in a perpetual bed. Just like,
yeah.
That's how I like to imagine it.
But anyway,
Lemurian seed crystals. Thanks for the tip, Stabby.
Thanks so much. Not sure if we are aliens, but we sure do have creative imaginations.
We do.
They really played out what our fantasies
These dogs are so excited right now.
I know. They found out that we're doing past life regression, and they're like, "That's so cool." Actually, honestly, Apollo was mad the whole time because he thought we were like rubbing a chip in our fingers. He was
Apollo thought it was food.
Death staring
100%.
us. You fucker. Okay. See you guys on the other side. Hail Satan.
Hail Kyle's Crystals Crafts.